Victoria was born with a face so beautiful, it was deadly. The moment she came into this world, something terrifying happened. Every nurse who saw her died. Every doctor who entered the room collapsed. Even visitors who caught a glimpse fell to the floor, lifeless. Only her parents survived. Terrified, they realized this was no ordinary child. Her beauty carried a curse, something too powerful, too dangerous to be seen by the world. They locked her away. No school, no friends, no playgrounds, just a quiet home, stacks of books, and layers of cloth wrapped tightly around her face. She wasn't being punished. She was being protected. From the world and from herself. But Victoria wasn't just beautiful. She was brilliant. She devoured every book, learned faster than her tutors could keep up, and dreamed of someday living like other girls. That dream felt impossible. Until she turned 18. Her parents, though scared, agreed. It was time she experienced life beyond those walls. They enrolled her in university, under one rule. Her face must never be seen. So she stepped into campus wrapped in cloth, from forehead to chin, only her eyes showing. A silent mystery. A walking secret. Professors were stunned by her brilliance. She aced every exam, completed every assignment early. But students? They didn't understand. Whispers spread like wildfire. Is she hiding scars? Is she sick? Or just weird? And then came Bella, the queen bee, popular, loud, and cruel. She made Victoria her daily target. "Hey, mystery girl," she'd shout. "You hiding a monster under that wrap?" Victoria always answered the same way, calm, quiet, and firm. "I'm protecting you." But Bella didn't stop. She mocked. She teased. She laughed with her friends while Victoria kept walking, head down, refusing to react. Until Bella took things too far. She came up with a cruel plan, one that would finally expose Victoria. And she dragged someone else into it. Joshua. He was the campus heartthrob, confident, charming, adored by everyone. Bella knew exactly how to use him. "Pretend to be her friend," Bella whispered. "Get close. Make her trust you. And when she sleeps, take off the cloth. Snap a picture. Send it to me." Joshua hesitated. Why? She's never bothered anyone. But Bella rolled her eyes. "She acts like she's better than us. I want everyone to see what she's hiding." He should have walked away. But he didn't. The next day, he sat near Victoria in class, smiled at her, offered to study together. Slowly, he earned her trust. She'd never had a friend before. And Joshua felt different. He didn't tease her. He didn't ask questions. He just listened. One evening, he visited her room to study. Victoria made him tea. As she turned to grab a book, Joshua reached into his pocket. A small packet, sleeping powder. He poured it into her cup. She turned back around, smiling softly behind her cloth. "Here you go," he said, handing her the tea. She took a sip. They studied, talked, laughed. Then her eyes grew heavy. "I feel sleepy," she mumbled. "Get some rest," Joshua said gently. "I'll clean up." Victoria lay down, feeling warm and happy. The kind of happy that only comes from trusting someone. Joshua waited, and when she was asleep, he crept to her bedside. His hands trembled as he reached for her cloth. He untied the first knot, then the second. His heart pounded in his chest. Finally, the cloth slipped off, and then he saw her. Joshua froze. She wasn't ugly. She wasn't scarred. She was breathtaking. Not in the way magazines describe beauty. No. Victoria's face held something otherworldly, something divine. It was like staring at the sun. Beautiful. Deadly. Joshua's breath caught in his throat. His vision blurred, his chest tightened, and before he could cry out, he collapsed, lifeless. Moments later, Victoria stirred, groggy and confused. She sat up and saw her face cloth on the floor. Her eyes widened, her heart dropped. Then she saw him, Joshua, still, silent, staring into nothing. "No! No!" she cried, crawling to his side. She shook him, screamed his name, but he didn't move. Tears streamed down her face as the truth sunk in. He had seen her face, and now he was gone. She pulled the cloth over her face again, sobbing, "Why didn't you listen, Joshua? I warned you. I told you." The noise drew attention. Students gathered. Someone called security. And soon the police arrived. They found Victoria sitting beside him, wrapped once again, trembling. "What happened here?" an officer asked. Through tears she whispered, "He saw my face. That's all it takes." The officers were stunned. Some had heard the rumors, but no one believed them. Until now. They questioned her, investigated, spoke with her parents. In the end, they knew this wasn't murder. It was something unexplainable. Victoria was released that night, but her soul? It felt like a prison. At home, Victoria collapsed into her mother's arms, broken. "I can't do this anymore," she sobbed. "I don't want to hurt anyone else. I should just disappear forever." But her mother held her tight, brushing the tears from her face. "You can't hide forever, Victoria. I know you're scared, but you've come so far. You can't let this curse define your life." Victoria's voice trembled. "What if it happens again? What if someone else dies because of me?" Her mother looked her in the eyes. "Do you remember what the prophet told us?" she asked. Victoria nodded. "The curse will only break when someone loves me. Truly. For who I am. Not for my face, but for my soul." She paused. "But what if no one ever does?" Her mother smiled gently. "Then we keep living until they do." The next day at school, Bella pounced like a vulture. "Well, well, well. If it isn't the deadly beauty herself," she sneered. "Did your rich parents bribe the police to let you walk free?" Victoria ignored her. But Bella wasn't finished. "You're a freak. You think you're special hiding behind that cloth? You're a monster." This time Victoria stopped. She turned. Calm. Strong. "At least I'm not desperate for attention," she said. "You've spent years chasing boys and begging for validation. And what do you have to show for it?" "Nothing." Bella's face flushed with rage. Students nearby went silent, eyes wide, phones recording. "You want the truth?" Victoria added. "You're fake. Your money's fake. Your life is fake. You pretend to be a queen, but you're just scared no one will love the real you." The crowd gasped. Some laughed. Others stared in awe. Bella stuttered and stormed off. And for the first time, Victoria didn't just survive a confrontation. She won it. Soon after, everything changed. A new student transferred to the university. His name was Dennis. Tall, confident, kind. The moment he stepped on campus, heads turned, girls whispered, eyes followed, and Bella saw an opportunity. "He's mine," she declared to her friends. "I'll have him in no time." She tried everything, flirted, flaunted, faked vulnerability. But Dennis didn't even blink. He wasn't interested. And then, something unexpected happened. He noticed Victoria. He was drawn to her kindness, her calm strength, the quiet way she carried herself, even with the cloth wrapped around her face. Day by day, he approached her, gently, respectfully. "Hi," he said one afternoon. "I've seen you around. Mind if I sit here?" Victoria hesitated but nodded. He didn't ask about the cloth, didn't pry, just talked. like she was normal. And that's what made her feel seen. Over time, they became friends, real friends. They laughed between classes, shared stories, studied together. Dennis didn't care about her mystery. He cared about her heart. But Bella noticed, and she hated it. "You think you're clever, don't you?" she snapped one day, cornering Victoria. "Using your witchcraft to steal my man?" Victoria raised a brow. "Your man? The one who doesn't even know you exist?" Bella turned red with rage. "You're nothing but a freak behind a cloth." But Victoria stood tall. "And you're just a sad girl trying to be noticed. You don't scare me anymore, Bella." Students gasped. Bella backed away. Victoria wasn't hiding anymore. And Dennis? He was falling for her. One evening, Dennis found Victoria sitting beneath her favorite tree on campus, the place where she went to think, to breathe. He sat beside her, quiet for a moment. Then he said softly, "Victoria, I need to tell you something." She turned to him, her heart already pounding. "I love you," he said. "I don't care about your face or the rumors or what people think. You are the most amazing person I've ever met. I love who you are, not what's under that cloth." Victoria's breath caught. "You say that now. But what if I'm not what you expect? What if I'm cursed?" Dennis smiled. "Then let me be the fool who loves you anyway." That weekend, she visited him. They talked for hours about books, dreams, childhood memories. For the first time, she felt normal. She felt alive. Then, it happened. In a moment of laughter, Dennis reached out. His hand brushed her face, and the cloth slipped off. Time stopped. Victoria froze, terror surging through her. "No!" she gasped, covering her face. "You'll die, like Joshua. Please, look away." But Dennis didn't move. He just looked at her, really looked, and smiled. "I'm fine," he said gently. "See? Nothing's happening." Victoria's hands slowly lowered, her eyes wide with disbelief. Tears streamed down her cheeks. "You're alive?" "I told you," Dennis whispered. "Real love isn't afraid." She collapsed into his arms, sobbing, but this time with joy. The curse hadn't claimed him. Love had broken through. That night, Victoria ran home, breathless, overwhelmed, hopeful. She burst through the door, calling out, "Mom!" He saw my face, and nothing happened. Her mother turned, eyes wide. "Dennis," Victoria whispered, tears shining in her eyes. "He's alive. He said he loves me, and I believe him." Her mother's hands trembled as she reached out and held her daughter close. "My darling," she whispered, "we've waited so long for this day. You've found true love, and the curse is broken." The next morning, Victoria walked into school without her cloth. For the first time in her life, her face was uncovered. Whispers rippled through the hallways. "Is that Victoria?" "She's beautiful." Students turned, stared, but this time not in fear, in awe. And then Bella appeared. She froze, mouth agape. This is what you were hiding?" she spat. Victoria smiled calmly. "Yes, and now I don't have to hide anymore." Bella scoffed, trying to hold on to her pride. But the crowd had already chosen. They clapped, they cheered, they saw the real Victoria. And more importantly, so did she. She was no longer the cursed girl in hiding. She was a survivor, a fighter, a young woman who refused to let fear win. And through it all, despite cruelty, betrayal, and loss, she had found something rare. Love, the kind strong enough to break a curse. What did this story teach you? That beauty isn't always a blessing? That love, true love, sees beyond the surface? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If this tale moved you, share it with someone who needs hope today. And remember, no matter your scars, your story is not over. Stay strong, stay true, and never be afraid to show the world who you really are.